Writing a novel is not for everyone, and that's fine. We don't all want to be astronauts either. Most of us probably shouldn't. In this video, I'm going to tell you about 12 things you need to stop doing if you want to write a novel. And typically, the context for any of my videos is that you want to write a novel that you also want to share with the world. Now, if you're just writing for fun and you're not even thinking about ever getting published, then most of these might not apply to you. And why exactly should you stop doing these 12 things? Is it just to make me happy? No, these things will actually stop you from progressing. And that means you might never actually finish writing your novel, or you might just never be good. Do you want to be bad? I bet you don't. You want to be a good writer. Stop doing these things. If you're new here, hi, I'm Katri, and this is Protagonist Crafts, a place for people who are kind of obsessed with the whole writing thing, I guess. Anyway, here are the things that you need to stop doing. This first thing is very important. You need to stop consuming so much content. Like, I get it, content is everywhere. You're currently watching my content, and I'm glad you are, but it can't be all that you do, especially when it comes to short form content. It's shortening your attention span, and you're going to need a lot longer attention span if you want to write a novel. And the next thing you need to stop doing is very much related to this, which is stop never having any downtime where you're not entertained. You don't need to constantly be scrolling something. You don't need to have your little earphones on all the time. You can have quiet time. You don't need entertainment all the time. You don't need entertainment while you're doing the dishes. You don't need entertainment in the bus. Yeah, I know some things, they're a lot easier to do, and sometimes it can be the only way to do them if you are entertained while you do them, like the dishes or the laundry. But you can't do that all the time. You need time where you're not entertained. If you're constantly consuming content without ever letting yourself get bored, you don't have any space in your brain for new ideas. And you're going to need new ideas if you want to write a novel. So I know it can feel difficult, but just because it feels uncomfortable, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. So just look out the window, stare at the wall, paint a wall, and then watch the paint dry. Just stop doing things all the time. Stop consuming content all the time. Take your little earphones out of your ears. It drives me crazy seeing people I care about do that constantly have something on. You don't need so much content. You're going to be fine. And if you want to write a novel, if you want to have enough ideas to write a great novel, then guess what? Your brain needs boring zero time. Okay, it's like you've got a desk full of stuff. You need to throw away the stuff, or else there won't be any room on it for new stuff. Okay, and the third thing that you need to stop doing is twofold. First of all, you need to stop only reading outside the genre that you want to write in. As in, you need to stop never reading in the genre you want to write in. I should have thought beforehand how I was going to phrase this. But also, you need to stop never reading outside of your genre. What I'm trying to say here in proper terms is that you need to read in the genre that you want to write in, but you also need to read other things. If you don't read, for example, if you want to write fantasy, then you do need to read fantasy. Otherwise, you won't know what stuff belongs in there, in the fantasy bucket. You won't know what your readers want. But at the same time, you do also need to read other stuff, because otherwise you will just be repeating the same things. So you want to learn more about writing and about storytelling from other genres as well, and then use those as tools to make your writing awesome. The fourth thing that you need to stop doing is having this image in your head of what a writer should be like, what they should look like, what kind of an education they should have, what kind of coffee should they drink. Maybe they don't drink coffee, that's totally fine. There isn't just one way to be a writer. So don't get stressed about it. Don't think that you need to put yourself into this teeny tiny box of what a writer is like. Just don't do that. It's not necessary. There are all kinds of people in this world who are writers, and you are perfectly equipped to being a writer exactly as you are, as long as you stop doing the 12 things I'm mentioning in this video. And the fifth thing is you need to stop having expectations of what writing is like. So if you expect that if you want to write a novel that you need to have 8 hours or even just 5 hours every day to work on your writing, or otherwise it's somehow a failure, don't. There are many ways to write a novel. You don't need a typewriter, no matter how aesthetic it might be. And it's nice to romanticize. It's nice to romanticize, our hobbies and stuff and activities and jobs, but that doesn't mean it has to be like that. So, if you've got a typewriter, if you get a quill and you like to use it, go ahead. But writing doesn't need to happen in coffee shops. It doesn't have to happen on aesthetic rainy days. You don't need a really cool writing nook. You don't need a Moleskin, or however you're supposed to pronounce it, a notebook. You don't need Scrivener. You don't need a MacBook. You don't need any of that stuff. The only thing that matters is that you're writing, and it's just often it doesn't look very cool, and that is fine. It's work. It's not supposed to look cool. So, however you get your writing done, whether it's in a notebook or in your notes app, maybe you're dictating yourself stories while, making lunch for your children, all of that is valid, as long as you're getting your work done. And it doesn't have to look any certain way or work any certain way except the way that actually works for you. And the sixth thing that you need to stop doing, this might be a surprising one, you need to stop wanting to write well. You need to stop trying to write real good, okay? Stop it. Write garbage. Give yourself a permission, not just a permission, tell yourself to write really poorly. Just write utter garbage. And guess what? That way, you're going to get a lot more writing done. You are going to be faster. You're going to spend a lot less time on overthinking. Edit well. Learn how to edit well, but write garbage. Wanting to write well and having these expectations of what your writing is supposed to be like that, it's going to slow you down. It might even stop you from writing completely. Write garbage. I think your first drafts, they need to be even worse. Just commit to making them even worse. And then edit epically, but write terribly first. Please. I love you. The seventh thing you need to stop doing is waiting for a perfect time to start writing. Because you know what? We all have jobs. Well, I don't have a normal job. So I'm not equipped for a normal job, but this is my job. I have children to care for. I have litter boxes to clean. Most writers, even professional authors, they have normal jobs. They have their day jobs. Nobody in this day and age is Tolkien. You can't wait for a time when you're going to have all this time to work on your writing. There's always, it's like being an adult. It's just one thing after the other. You're never going to find the perfect time to write. So, you know when was the perfect time to start writing a novel? That was 2 years ago. The second best time is today. So think about that. It's never going to happen. But there's a small caveat here. If there's something going on in your life right now that you know that it's going to end, like maybe you're working on your dissertation, maybe you're potty training your puppy or house training your baby, that is a thing that is going to have an end, a set time. So in that case, you can be like, well, when this actual thing, this finite thing is going to be done, then I'm going to start writing. That is fine. But don't just expect the perfect time to be given to you from heavens. It's never going to happen. And the thing number 8 that you need to stop doing is kind of related. You need to stop thinking that you need more time. Sure, yeah, it would be very nice if everyone who wants to write had hours every day to work on their writing, but for most people it just isn't realistic. And most writers in Lord's year 2025 have other stuff to do. I'm not gonna be because I can do it, then you can do it too. But I'm just saying I've written multiple full novel manuscripts while having all kinds of nonsense to do. I wrote my first full novel. It was garbage, but I wrote it in nursing school, so I was able to do that. I was also a terrible nurse. Graduated 11 years ago, and I've worked in the field for about a month. So take that as you will. But anyway, if you've got time to watch this, if you've got the time to leave a comment saying that you don't have the time to write, you could have used that time on writing. And you need to put your ego out of it, because, you know, like I said, it's a nice idea to have hours to work on your writing, but it's usually not realistic. So you have to use the time that you actually have. And also, if you want to do this, if you want to write a novel, you don't have to write a novel. Nobody has to write a novel. Well, I have to. It's I don't have a choice. I was made to write novels. It's an inner thing. I have to do it. But, you know, in general, nobody has to write a novel. You don't have to do it. If you don't want to prioritize it, you don't have to prioritize it. You know, just don't. But if you actually want to do it, you do need to use the little pockets of time that you do have. And then you have to figure out how to make those pockets of time bigger and how to find more of them. So maybe you don't watch that episode of Gilmore Girls again. Maybe you spend that time on writing, stuff like that. I'm not going to be we all have the same 24 hours in a day. But like, you have more time than you realize. Just prioritize it. And again, just leave your ego out of it. Don't be like, I only have 10 minutes to write, so I'm not going to write. But if you do that multiple times per week, how much time have you actually wasted there? And just because you're making slow progress, it doesn't mean that it's meaningless, that it's pointless. This is one of the reasons why I really think outlining is a great thing for, you know, modern humans who want to write novels. Because when you've got your plan, it's easy to just jump back into writing because you know exactly what you're going to write and why you have been writing, where your writing needs to go. It's a lot easier to use those pockets of time. And that's why I create stuff like the Genius plotting system that you can find the link for in the description. I also have something called simple writing tasks, which is exactly what it says. It's simple and it's writing task. It's like lists of tasks that you can do related to your writing, and you can just pick one and then do it and actually make progress with the time that you have instead of thinking that you don't have the time. So that's actually free. So get it. Yeah. And the 9th thing that you absolutely have to stop doing if you actually want to be writing and making progress with your writing is getting into the drama of pantsing versus plotting. Like, I know when I just said that outlining is great, somebody's going to be like, I hate outlining. Outlining sucks. It takes away the creativity. I don't care. But go ahead, do leave a comment. YouTube loves comments. So yeah, feel free to comment. But what I'm trying to say here, that is a waste of time. To be completely honest with you, getting into arguments about what is the right way to write a novel is being a pantser or being a plotter better. It's a waste of time, and it's quite frankly kind of childish. If something works for you, and when I say it works for you, I mean it's a method that helps you write a novel from start to finish without losing your mind efficiently in a time frame that works for you, and it produces a story that makes sense and that is nice to read, you know, a good reading experience. If you've got a method like that and it works for you, great, stick to it. Make adjustments when needed. Sometimes adjustments are needed. And there isn't the one perfect way to write novels. It's completely useless to get into arguments about what is better. Like, why are you doing that? Just go and write something instead. I don't care what famous writers do. I mean, yeah, maybe like for curiosity's sake, like, yeah, okay, sure. Go on, tell me, Dickens, how did you write your novels? But like, it's pointless. The way that they wrote their novels, it's not the secret to their fame, okay? And if you copy them, it doesn't make you the next whatever. It's completely meaningless what Stephen King does. You are not Stephen King. You are you. That's awesome. You're not even going to be the next Stephen King. You're just you. So whatever he does to write his novels, it's completely meaningless. Nobody cares about this stuff like outside the writing community. Your readers don't care. Your readers care that you've got a great story. They don't care how you created it, and just people outside internet don't really care about this stuff. It's like in TikTok where I can't remember how long ago this was because I'm not actually on TikTok. They got got into arguments about who's actually got green eyes, you know, and it's like, no one cares. Nobody with, with stuff to do cares about this stuff. So pick the method that works for you and stop caring about what other people are doing and how they're writing. Just do what works for you and understand that people and people's brains and people's stories, they are different. This discourse, it's like, why are people doing this? It doesn't matter. Why? Stop it. You're wasting your time. Focus on your own work. God. And, you know, people making educational content on the internet, they're not doing this. We are not doing this to get people to agree with us. It doesn't matter if you agree with me about anything. That is not the point of it. So, like, getting into someone's comments saying like, you're wrong about this. This works for me, therefore it's the best way. And also, did I mention that Victor Hugo, he wrote like this? Doesn't matter. Focus on you. Okay, just go right. Okay. And the 10th thing that you need to stop doing is thinking that you already know everything about writing. You could be the best writer in the world, whatever that means. I don't know how we would choose who the best writer in the world is. You would still have something to learn about writing. Nobody is perfect at everything, and especially if you're like more of a beginning writer, you have a lot to learn. And then you might be like, oh yes, I'm learning about writing every day. I'm reading these things and watching these videos. But you're not actually learning anything if you're doing either of these things. Yes, I already knew that. Or no, that isn't true. That isn't learning. It's fine that you still have a lot to learn. You can keep writing and keep learning. And there are ways to do learning. And it's like by writing, by getting feedback from your writing, and then, you know, applying that where it matters. Reading, and then like reading craft books or like watching lectures and stuff, and doing exercises. So those are the ways that you can improve your writing and learn about writing. And don't resist learning. Like I said, don't just go, I already knew this, or this isn't true. It's a weird thing that I've seen in the comments. I don't generally go into reading other people's YouTube comments because comments gross. But I was doing research, and again, sometimes there are comments on my own content. But anyway, where people are like, they're dismissing something important about writing because they don't actually understand it, and they're like, explaining it away why it doesn't matter. So, for example, there was a video that was talking about, among other things, about show don't tell, and there were two very silly comments that stood out to me. One of them was like, "Oh yes, showing it's important in movies and in plays. It's not as important in writing because you can't actually see anything." It's like, do you actually understand what it means? No, I don't think you do. And then another commenter saying like, it's writers wouldn't have to like boggle down their writing with all this sensory details. So show don't tell doesn't really matter that much. And it's like, again, yeah, sensory details are a good thing to master for this show don't tell thing. It's not all it is. So clearly this person as well didn't quite understand what it was. So instead, they went, oh yes, I'm going to explain why this isn't important. So don't do that. When you're faced with new information and things that you don't yet know how to do yet, don't just go, this isn't important. I'm going to explain to you and to myself why it isn't important. Stop doing that. You have stuff to learn. Learn them, practice them, master them, do it. Stop making excuses. You're a very capable human. You can do this. You don't have to understand, master everything like straight away. It's fine if you don't understand it. Practice it. Get feedback. Get help. You know, you're not winning anything by being like, this isn't important. I'm not going to do this. Stop it. You want to write great novels that people will love. You have stuff to learn, and it's fine. Learning is great. Your brain was made for learning. Do it. And the 11th thing, I think I've lost count, whatever, that you need to stop doing is you need to stop thinking about what other people are thinking about yourself when you're writing, about you as a writer. And like about your writing, or like you do have to care about your readers. But what I'm saying is like, don't be too shy. Don't think that your grandma is going to read your writing. Don't let it like water down your writing because you're like, I can't do this. Don't do that, and don't get into stuff like Like a while ago, like last week or something, I got an email from a young writer, and she was concerned about, like, as her role, sort of like, could people see her as the girl who writes, or did she want to be seen as the girl who writes? And again, this was a young person, so I understand that this stuff feels important, but it actually isn't important what people think about you, what kind of little boxes they're trying to put you in. Stop thinking about that. And then something else that I've seen, was quite a while ago, but it's so funny. It stood out to me. Like, someone was making an Instagram post. It was a total stranger to me. I was browsing and like, oh, I know that it's kind of funny to say that you want to start writing when you're already over 30. It's like, oh yes, you're practically knocking on death's door at 30. Too late to start writing. Stop thinking about what people. Stop worrying about what people will think about you writing. It doesn't matter if you're not like the writerly type, like we talked about. Just stop thinking about it. Stop wasting brain energy on what people think about you. Chances are that they're not thinking anything. They're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about what you're thinking about them. But also, when people do have opinions about you, it quite often has absolutely nothing to do with you. So please remember that. And the final thing that I want you to stop doing, really, this is a personal pet peeve of mine, but stop buying into writer memes to the tune of, oh yes, of course I'm a writer, because I'm not writing. Oh yes, writers, they're only thinking of writing and saying they're writers, but they're never writing. It's so funny. Don't. If you have the time and the energy to post memes, you can write. Okay, yeah, maybe sometimes you only have energy to like be scrolling, but the point is, what is this thing? Why are people doing this? If you're a writer, you should be writing. Obviously, you can't write all the time. Currently, as you can see, I'm not writing anything. I'm talking about writing. But what you should be doing is writing, reading, writing, editing also goes under writing. Or you should be learning about writing, or you should be living your life so that you have stuff to write about. If you like the idea of being a writer, but you don't want to write, okay. But just saying that you're a writer, it doesn't make you a writer. I'm not saying like you need to write this and this many words per day to be a writer. That isn't what this is about at all. But like, if you want to write, then write. Don't stop posting these memes. They annoy me. They annoy me so much. Oh, I think I lied to you, actually. I have one more thing, number 13, that you need to stop doing. And that is stop comparing your word count to other people's word counts. I've been on Instagram. I followed a lot of writers in my time. I think I've changed accounts and I've stopped following a lot of people. But anyway, when they're posting like, oh yes, I wrote 5,000 words today and I wrote this book in 3 months. I'm going to self-publish it next month. Writing is not a speed race, and your readers, they are not going to care about how fast you wrote your book. If you wrote a terrible book, because you were in such a rush to finish it, then yeah, they're going to care about that because it's, garbage. And I'm not saying that everyone who writes really fast is a terrible writer. I'm not saying that at all. Some people can write their first drafts very fast. But my point here is that stop comparing your word count to other people's word counts. You don't know how much of that was any good, how much of that they're going to end up deleting, and your life circumstances could be completely different. And some people just type a lot faster and stuff. So just don't get into the drama of telling yourself that you're not writing fast enough. Just use the time that you have and use it efficiently. And that is the best that you can do. Now, the last thing that you need to stop doing is you need to stop watching this video and go write something.